well, I'm trying to get everything set up here, so y'all stick around with me here just a second. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I think it's, oh yeah, it is. So we're not going to go into that one right now. I'm trying to figure out how to work this so that I can see the live video in here, and it's not letting me see it. So are we live? I don't know. Well, let me see if the camera's even working here. Well, it shows that we're live, but I can't get nothing on Facebook, or yeah, on Facebook here, to where I can actually see it, because I like being able to see it. Oh, there we go. I just seen where it come up live. Oh, there we go. I think we're live, buddy. All right. Before I get ready to lay down and oh shoot, I gotta turn off the volume. I'm sorry about that. No, let me get out of here. All right, there we go. This is the officer's statement. The officer's statement, and I'm not gonna read into it until I get the video. Because he said some stuff in here that I even touched bases with the chief about. And well, here it is, right here. The officer statement right there. Let's see what we got here, and we go on to more pages here. Blah 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 blah. So, anyways, so we got the officer statement. About what happened that night. He was concerned about the bump on her head. And let's see, blah blah blah. Let's see. Let me go back over here to the other page here, and now I'm just going to touch on some stuff here. Let's see. On December 13th, approximately 2025. Now, anything that I say is me saying it. If they think that I'm doing something wrong, then they need to come talk to me. Don't try to use this against anybody else. And they know what I'm talking about. December 13, 2025, approximately 23:30 hours, Harris County Dispatch dispatched Taylor County Sheriff's Department unit to a welfare check at 10 City Park Lane. There is no such address, y'all. There is no such address. We live at Grafton City Park Campground, lot number 28, and have been for 2.5 years now. Let's see, they claim this is in, Grafton City Campground in Taylor County. This officer and I'm not going to mention no names, advised headquarters that this address would be city jurisdiction. I guess I turn it this way so I can look at the camera, yeah. Sorry about that. I kind of leaned off to the side there. So, anyways, so the headquarters advised that Lisa 9 wanted a welfare check on her mother. We're still trying to verify all this information, so nothing has been released. Let's see. Sharon 9 will be referred to as the defendant. Woo-woo! Damn. Let's see. They're saying that Lisa said, and we won't know until the audio is released so that we can hear it. Sharon 9, who had drank a lot and was belligerent. Sharon had drank one wine cooler. One wine cooler. So what does that tell you? Miss Lisa also advised that her mother's boyfriend, later identified as me, told her that the defendant would not settle down. She wouldn't. Sharon was not herself that night. And I kept telling the officer why I thought that she was not herself that night. Oh, let's go on. The officer arrived in the campground approximately 23:46 hours. That's military time, y'all. So anybody that's in the military knows what time that is. And that's close to midnight. Not that I've ever been in the military. This officer was able to locate the RV that the defendant was staying in approximately 10 minutes after arriving in the area. Upon initial contact, the defendant answered the door, and the officer noticed an impaired demeanor. He noticed a impaired demeanor, but he also noticed the knot on her head and me saying that she needed to go to the damn hospital. Let's see. Her eyes were red. Face was red. Speech slurred. And had a stagger in her stance. My God, my eyes stayed bloodshot. But hey, she was crying that night. Crying does also make her face red. She had a bump on her head. I suspected that night that something had been put in her drink. With a concussion comes slur of speech, comes staggering, comes not being yourself. She greeted this officer by saying, "You want to arrest me? Go ahead." The officer informed her that a welfare check had been initiated, to which she said everything was okay. She said everything was okay. Hey, if y'all got any comments about this, because I'm just reading from the report, so I can't get this thing to stop. So y'all bear with me. Okay, here we go. So the officer requested to speak with the boyfriend, to which she replied, "I just got his fucking ass in bed." The officer apologized for waking Mr. Burns, to which the defendant got angry and began swearing, stating that he wanted her to leave. I never said anything about her leaving, but hey, things was happening that night because of what was going on with what I thought was the concussion and drugs in her system. So I'm not going to deny whether she said that or didn't say that. The video will say it all. Like I said, the video is not pretty. It is not, because Sharon was not herself that night. And I kept asking for him to get her to the hospital, and he wouldn't. So anyways, let's go on. The officer then noticed an apparent bruise on the defendant's forehead. Now, I believe in the video, I'm not 100% positive, but I believe in the video, the officer says, "How'd you get that bump on your head?" But I can't swear to that, and I'm not going to say that that's what he said until I'm able to see the video again. Now, I did sit down with the chief and watch it. And the chief told me I had to turn off my body cam while we was in there watching it. And I got chief on video saying that I had to turn off my body cam while we watched the video. So, anyways, let's see, where was it? The officer then noticed an apparent bruise on the defendant's forehead and asked about it. The defendant denied that there was anything on her forehead, and she did. She did deny that there was anything on her forehead. And that was a concern, because she didn't even know she even had a bump on her head. She couldn't have told you how it got there, but it did. So the officer requested to see Burns' hands to ensure that he had not been physically abusive to the defendant. I held out my hands like this to show the officer I never touched her. Me and Sharon don't get into that type of disagreements to where we physically touch each other in a threatening manner. So I've never laid my hands on a woman. A woman's never laid their hands on me in a threatening manner. So, and I want people to understand this, that if a woman touches you in the presence of an officer during something that's going on, that's not domestic battery. If the woman was to slap, punch, kick, that's a different story. But just because a woman touches a man, that's not domestic battery. I didn't file domestic battery. Who filed the domestic battery charges is what I want to know. So, because I didn't, because she never battered me in any way. And I even sent a a notarized affidavit, a signed affidavit letter to the attorney stating that she'd never touched me. So, anyways, let's go on here. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see, because the defendant then got, hold on, let me make sure I got it right where the officer requested to see Mr. Burns' hands to ensure that he had not been physically abused to the defendant. The defendant then got angry and asked this officer, why the hell are you even here? Why the hell are you here? She asked a question. Why the hell are you here? The officer then repeated that the reason for the visit was because her daughter wanted her to be checked on because she was drunk and belligerent. The defendant then began to become belligerent to the officer. Now, she's inside her camper. She can do whatever the hell she wants to. She can say whatever the hell she wants to as long as it's not in a threatening manner. As long as she's not threatening the officer, she can call the officer all kinds of names. First Amendment right, she can say whatever the hell she wants to. And they can't do nothing to her. So she started getting belligerent with the officer. She told him to shut up several times, and you got the rights. You can actually tell an officer, and excuse my language, but you can also tell an officer to fuck off. You can shoot him the finger. Don't kiss your ass. Whatever. It doesn't matter. You can tell them what. First Amendment right, as long as you're not making a threat. The defendant began to become belligerent with the officer, to which Mr. Burns stated he needed to get her daughter on the phone, and I did. The defendant then stated that she didn't care if she got killed. That's a damn right, outright lie. She never said anything to the sort, and the video will prove it. Even the chief said that he was wrong. Because, let me read that again. The defendant then stated she didn't care if she got killed. Hold on. The statement, the officer asked us, and it goes into this later, but this is what he put up here in the front. The officer asked us, do either one of y'all have any place that either one of y'all can go for the night? We wasn't fighting. It had nothing to do with us fighting. It had to do with me wanting to get her to the hospital. But he made it seem like we was fighting and arguing. And we wasn't. That wasn't it. Sharon wasn't herself that night. So, anyways, so she made this statement that if she leaved here, the roads is all iced up bad. I mean, bad. She said if she was to leave here, and it's on body cam, so whatever I'm saying right now, if I don't say it word for word, the body cam will back up what I'm saying, because I'm just trying to say what it basically boils down to is that she said that if she was to leave here right now, that she might get killed because of the road conditions. But he made it out like she was going to kill herself. This is what he made it out to be. So, let's go on. To which the officer requested a county unit to come out for a mental hygiene. He called a county unit because what he heard was, I'm going to kill myself. So he had to call a county unit for a mental hygiene. Listen to what was said after that. The officer then spoke with the county unit, who stated his presence was not needed. This is what the deputy told him. His presence was not needed. Because after the officer probably explained to him, and I wish that we could get the phone records, the phone call. I don't know if that was a police-issued phone that the officer was on. And if I find out that it is, then I will find out about pulling the records on that also and getting the phone call. Because I want to know what he was saying to that deputy that night. Excuse me, y'all. Because of him being so concerned about Sharon going to kill herself. Okay, if he'd have thought that, why didn't he go ahead right then? If that was the case, why didn't he go ahead and take her to the hospital right then? Why? This is the question. Why didn't he take her to the hospital? Instead of calling a deputy to find out, hey, can we have somebody come pick her up? When this whole time, I'm asking to get a ambulance out here to get her to the hospital. So, let's go back into so the deputy told him that his presence wasn't needed because after the officer explained what was going on, the officer knew right then, or the deputy knew that his presence wasn't needed. The officer then asked both occupants, now listen to this. Listen to what I'm fixing to read right here. Because he puts this after. In this statement, he puts this afterwards. At this time, let's see. I'm sorry. I done went into a different part of it here. Okay. The officer then asked both occupants if they had somewhere else they could stay for the night. This was stated before. Sharon had made that remark about if she got out there that she would possibly get killed because of the roads being slicked up. Why he put this after he made that comment that where he had to call the deputy, this should have been placed before, not after. So, let's go on. The officer then asked if both occupants, if they had somewhere else they could stay for the night, to which Mr. Burns stated there was nowhere that either one could go for the night at this time. We couldn't, but we wasn't fighting. The thing is, we wasn't fighting. When you see the video, you'll see where I'm concerned about getting her to the damn hospital. And I'm assuming that he must have taken that as us fighting. So, anyways. Let's see. Mr. Burns was still on the phone with Miss Lisa. Hold on, just say I was still on the phone. So, I was still on the phone. But, hold on, let's get back up here earlier here. Officer repeated that the reason for the visit was because the daughter wanted her to be checked for the belligerent officer. Mr. Burns asked. Mr. Burns stated he needed to get her daughter on the phone. So, but here it says, at this time, Mr. Burns was still on the phone with Miss Lisa. So I was actually on the phone with her daughter. But the earlier statement states that Mr. Burns stated he needed to get her daughter on the phone. Okay. So, let's see. The defendant then tried to remove the phone from Mr. Burns. Man. She tried to remove the phone from me. That's what she did, actually. That's the reason why I had to do that. The defendant then tried to remove the phone from Mr. Burns, grabbing his hand and arm area. Whew, boy. Damn, she grabbed my arm. I don't remember that happening. We'll watch the video and see, but it doesn't matter. Because it wasn't that she hit me. It wasn't that she was abusing me. And any judge that says otherwise, well, you're wrong. And a judge can make any call if they want to, especially when you got the buddy system. The buddy, you know. Yeah, I got you covered. Yeah, I got you covered. And Grafton, West Virginia. Anything that I say is from me. So, let's see. Yeah, and there is the buddy system in Grafton. There really is. I asked for a change of venue. And the attorney said, on what reason? And that's because I got my reason. Because I know about the buddy system here in Grafton. And she says, well, it can't be done. There's no evidence. So, anyways, let's go back into this. The defendant then tried to remove the phone from Mr. Burns, grabbing his hand and arm area, while Mr. Burns yelled, "Stop! Stop! Stop!" Mercy sakes alive. But they'll let hardened criminals, child molesters, but because somebody grabs for a phone. So, anyways, while retracting his arm to prevent her from obtaining the phone. Oh my God, that's starting to turn into a serious crime here. Mercy sakes alive. He retracted his arm. He retracted his arm to prevent her from obtaining the phone. Mercy. Damn. This ought to be a Nancy Drew mystery. Nancy Drew, Hardy Boys. Y'all remember those? My God, man. While retracting his arm to prevent her from obtaining the phone, to which then the officer told her to not take his phone. Do not take her phone. Do not take his phone. So, let's see. Do not take his phone. The defendant then attempted 2 more times to take the phone from Mr. Burns while the officer was speaking to him. Once again, Mr. Burns ripped his arm from her grasp, yelling, "Stop! Oh, stop! Quit grabbing me!" That ain't what happened, y'all, by the way. That is not what happened. I am the person that was there, so I know for a damn fact it didn't happen that way. The officer then yelled at the defendant to stop trying to take his phone, to which she yelled, "Don't you yell at me." She's good at doing that too. Yeah, she may have said that too. And then, "Don't you fucking yell at me." And like I said, First Amendment, she can say whatever the hell she wants to. She's inside her camper. She's inside her camper, and she can say whatever the hell she wants to, as long as she's not threatening the officer. This officer informed the defendant to put on shoes that we were going to the hospital for mental hygiene. Hold on, he put this in his report. Informed the defendant to put on her shoes that we were going to the hospital for mental hygiene. Okay, the deputy with the sheriff's department refused to show up because he knew there was nothing there. But this officer was to say that he was going to take her to the hospital for mental hygiene. Then why the hell did he arrest her? Serious. Why did he arrest her? To which, okay, we're going to the hospital for mental hygiene. To which she vehemently refused. She's going for a mental hygiene. Dude. Come on, seriously. City of Grafton, think about this shit. He even stated it in the damn report. Oh, let's go on. To which she vehemently refused. Mr. Burns then tried to get this officer to speak to Miss Lisa, who was still on the phone. She was still on the phone. She had always been on the phone. She had been on the phone. So, anyways, he placed the phone into the doorway while on speaker. Then the defendant attempted to take the phone from him again. Oh my God, she committed a... Oh my God. Would you consider that a felony? No, this is all a joke, y'all. I kid you not. The officer then approached the defendant in the doorway and told her to stop reaching for the phone yet again, and advised that if she attempted to take the phone again, he would place her under arrest. he would place her under. Now, he was willing to take her to the hospital for mental hygiene because he thought that there was something wrong with her. But instead, if you reach for that phone one more time, I'm going to place you under arrest and you're going to jail. But earlier, he was wanting to take her to the damn hospital for mental hygiene. Oh, good Lord. That's the reason why I tell y'all, when I check out cases, I need this stuff in front of me. So, the video and the statement from the police officer can be compared together. Right now, we don't have no video because for some reason they're not wanting to release it. I don't know if they're going to, whatever. Let's see. While in the doorway of her camper, she wasn't outside. The defendant attempted to take the phone from Mr. Burns again, to which the officer grabbed the defendant's arm. He entered the camper illegally because there was no domestic battery. He entered the camper illegally. The officer then approached the defendant in the doorway and told her to stop reaching for the phone again and advised her that if she attempted to take the phone again, he would place her under arrest. While in the doorway, the defendant attempted to take the phone from Mr. Burns again, which the officer grabbed the defendant's arm and ordered her to turn around. Now, mind you, she's in her camper. She hasn't done anything. There's nothing on video to show that she has done anything wrong. The defendant refused and resisted arrest. It took several minutes for this officer to place the defendant in custody due to the defendant's physical resistance. This officer's due to the defendant physically resisting this officer's lawful orders. She wasn't in her right mind, y'all. She was not in her right mind. That's the reason why he wanted to take her to the damn hospital for a mental evaluation. So now he wants to get her for resisting. He wants to get her for fighting with a police officer. Let's see. The defendant refused and resisted arrest. It took several minutes for this officer to place the defendant in custody due to the defendant's physical resistance. This officer's lawful orders. Oh my God, his lawful orders. She would not allow the officer to place her into handcuffs and repeatedly pulled her arms from the officer's grips, telling the officer to stop grabbing her. The officer spoke with a calm demeanor. The officer spoke with a calm demeanor. He already had an attitude. I'm telling you, when he come up here to this door, I got cameras outside our camper, and you can see him. He's already determined because he had to come out in the snow, and he's already got an attitude. And to me, he escalated this shit. So, The officer spoke with a calm demeanor, ordering her to turn around multiple times. Now, you got to remember, I kept telling him that she either had a concussion or something was put in her drink. She was not herself. He was already, earlier in his statement, had said he was going to take her to the hospital for a mental evaluation. So, what is it? When he arrested her that night, why didn't he go ahead and take her to the damn hospital for a mental evaluation like he was claiming that he was going to do earlier that night? Why? City officials that are watching this, and I know you're watching this, why? Why wasn't she taken to the hospital that night? I want the questions answered. And I will be at the city meetings, and I will be asking the questions. So be prepared to answer these questions, because the statement that this officer made, and then when we go to court on the 19th, they talk about adding more charges on her, and threatening her with jail and a longer probation period, because he refused to take her to the damn hospital for a mental evaluation. And the next day after I got her out of damn jail, I took her to the hospital. I told them to run every damn test that you can run. And that's when they found out that she had that benzo in her system. So, and I kept telling that officer to take her to the hospital. When y'all watch the video, y'all will see it. Y'all will see it several times. I even gave the officer her heart medication to where he took it, but nobody at Tiger Valley Regional Jail knew it was even there. It was hidden behind somebody else's medication on a shelf somewhere in that system. Now, she's still walking around barefooted, no jacket on, down at Tiger Valley Regional Jail. And I do have the recording from my communication with the guard there at Tiger Valley Regional Jail, asking if her medication had been given to her. They didn't even know the medication even existed. And I have put in a FOIA request for Tiger Valley Regional Jail because I want to see everything that contains to Sharon that happened that night and that morning, that afternoon, that evening. Because I didn't get there until like 3:30, 4 o'clock, somewhere in that area to get her picked up. She's still walking around with no jacket and no shoes on. The defendant then struggled, trying to escape from the officer's grips while trying to, while having her hands clenched into a fist. Like this right here. Like this right here. Because that is what she was used to in her life to defend herself. I'm not going to go into any other details other than that. This officer, gosh damn, this is what pisses me off here. This officer then used necessary amount of force and turned the defendant around, placed her chest against the wall, hold on, let me start all over here again. The officer then used a necessary amount of force and turned the defendant around, placing her chest against the wall behind her. She then grabbed onto a door handle, not allowing this officer to place her into handcuffs. If he thought that she needed to go to the hospital for mental hygiene, there's a better way of handling this, because he already knew. He even stated himself in the report that he needed to take her to the hospital for mental hygiene. So, yeah, there was something going on. There was something going on that night. Because this lady has never, in her 73 years of life, has even so much as gotten a damn speeding ticket. But now they want to file all kinds of charges against her and threaten her with jail time, probation, and a fine. Okay, let's move on here. She then grabbed onto a door handle, not allowing the officer to place her into handcuffs. The officer then placed the defendant onto the ground and removed her hands from underneath her. He did not place her on the ground as he stated here. He did not place her. Okay, when I say place her, you're going to gently take her to the ground. That isn't what happened. She went to the ground. He went on top of her. And he stayed on top of her. The video don't show it because his video's right here. And he's on top of her. This woman that needed to go to the hospital for mental hygiene. For a mental hygiene. That he had even stated. But he's on top of her. Trying to put handcuffs on her. The officer then placed the defendant onto the ground. Oh man, he softly just from what his report is, he's just softly placed her on the ground. The video will show, it will show as they're going down, and then when he lands on top of her, of course, the video ends. Okay. So, let's see, I'm going to get back in here. And removed her hands from underneath her, placing her into handcuffs. Upon getting the handcuffs on her, the defendant resisted standing up. Well, god dang, man. I mean, you got handcuffs on you. Throughout this process, the defendant made multiple physical contacts of a provoking nature toward Mr. Burns by attempting to take the phone from Mr. Burns. Hold on. She's handcuffed. People, listen to what he's saying. She's trying to take the phone from me. She's already handcuffed because he's already got her handcuffs. She's up on her feet. She's trying to take the phone from me. Oh, this would be a good comedy sketch, by the way. The defendant, on multiple occasions, made contact with Mr. Burns, with Mr. Burns' arms and hand while trying to remove the phone. Oh, my God. Oh, damn. I feel so abused. Oh, my God. How am I going to handle this? Oh, my God. Come on, dude. Be a man. God dang, man. Be a man, dude. Anyways, that's the report. Y'all heard it. I read it. Like I said, when we went to court, they wanted to add other charges. Fighting with the officer. Fighting with the officer. My God, 73-year-old great-grandmother, and they claim she was fighting with an officer. You know, if you're that type of person, I guess, you need to find another job, dude. I'm seriously, you need to find another job. So, anyways, we went to court on the 19th. And I stated this earlier in the video. So, and y'all can watch the other video. The attorney that she had, I don't like her. I don't think that she was there to represent Sharon. I think she's part of that buddy-buddy system in the Grafton area. My opinion. If y'all got something to say to me, say it to me. That's my opinion. Because she was willing to just walk in there and say, okay, well, gosh, they're willing to give you 2 years probation, 9 days jail, and they won't throw this other charge on you. Wow, really? Damn. I looked at her, I told her no. Nope. Well, let me go in there and talk to the prosecutor. Maybe I can work something else out. She walked in there and talked to the prosecutor, and gosh dang it, man. It's like they was in there having a party. That's all you heard. Then she comes back out. Oh, yeah, you know what? They'll dismiss the 90 days, and they'll give you 6 months probation, and plus a fine. Sharon was in tears. She's scared. She doesn't want to go back to jail. She is so afraid that she's going to go back to jail. Most of us men, because I fought cases like this before, and I fought it tooth and nail up until the prosecutor finally decided to just walk away from it and say, you know what, the hell with it, I'm done with it. But Sharon's afraid. She's afraid that she's going to wind up going back to jail again. And she didn't want that because that's what her attorney come out and told her. So, was she represented fairly? I don't think so. I don't think so. Then the attorney come out and said, well, I said, well, if there's no domestic battery, then there's no obstruction. Study it, y'all. If there's no domestic battery, there's no obstruction, because there has to be a crime in order to be an obstruction. So, she says, well, they said the obstruction come first. The obstruction came first. She's standing at her door in her camper, talking to the officer. How did the obstruction come first? Her attorney will not explain none of this. How did the obstruction come first? These are the questions that we're asking. We need a civil rights attorney because of the litigation that we're going to wind up going through. I will be at every city meeting and continuing to ask questions and expecting answers. And I expect each one of y'all to be at these meetings. People can watch this video and say, well, yes, shit happens. Until it happens to you. And there's a lot of stories going around to where these things are happening to citizens of this community. Record it, report it. File a FOIA request, file a complaint. Always, don't back down, don't let them scare you. Fear is the fear of going to jail for a lot of people will coerce them into saying, okay, well, I'll do this, I'll do that. So please, if you are innocent of any of these crimes that you're being accused of, do not accept the plea. If there's video evidence, that's the reason why I say record it, report it, file a complaint, file a FOIA request. Because if you don't, nobody can fight it for you if you don't fight it yourself. I can investigate it. I can pull all the records that needs to be pulled. I can file the FOIA request. You have to file the complaint. And if I get the video and I get the police report and the documentation, I would do like I'm doing tonight. I will read everything out to y'all. So, people, this is John Q. Public, the Watchdog, and we're going YouTube. As soon as I get it fixed up, get it figured out, we will be going on YouTube, and hopefully we can start getting more attention. If y'all feel that somebody needs to see this video, pass it along. Let them see it. Let them contact me. Let them tell me their story, and let me check it out. I will personally check things out. And file for FOIA requests. Now, this is just in our community. I can't stretch out no place else. But this is just in our community. Because I want to see people treated fairly. And like I've always said, we do have good law enforcement officers in our city, in our county, and in our state. Just because there's a few bad apples don't mean that all of them are bad. Police officers back in the days when I was growing up, they earned respect. When you would see an officer, you would always say, you know what, when I grow up, I want to be a police officer. I want to be a fireman. So there are good ones. So treat them with respect, support them, and those that are rotten, then we'll take care of them. We'll do the FOIA request, and whatever needs to be done, we'll report everything. So, but always respect them, because that's not a job I'd want to have. So, peace out. John Q. Public, the Watchdog, y'all. See y'all on the next episode.